Hi, welcome to Pat's Pondering. Today, because it's going to be Mother's Day next month, every week until Mother's Day, I'm going to read a story about a mother. So, this one is from Chicken Soup for the Mother Soul 2. I can never get that straight. Oh, this one is called The Mailbox. You're a wonderful mother. I wrote to my mother's on my Mother's Day card with pictures of sunflowers, garden gloves, and a watering can. You were always home for me after school with warm cookies and milk. You led our 4 H club and worked in PTA. Best of all, now you're my friend, sharing with me a love of beauty, puzzlement, and mysteries of men and respect for children. I walked out of the gra- I walked out the gravel driveway to the mailbox, ooh, opened the metal door, and slid in the card. As I shut the door and pulled up the red flag, I remembered another mailbox from long, long ago. As a child, I spent hours in a small playhouse in the backyard. I decked it out with curtains strung on twine, a window box planted with marigolds, and a mailbox made of a coffee tin can. The can was nailed to the outside wall of the playhouse next to the window. It was painted with green flower house paint and fitted with a small cardboard inside to create a flat horizontal surface. Well, one languid summer day, I ran into the house and found my mother mopping the kitchen floor. Mama, I asked, could you bring me some mail? She straightened up, held the mop in one hand, and massaged the small of her back with the other. She smiled, and her eyes softened as she looked at me, her sun-tanned, pigtailed sprite. Well, yes, I think I can. After I finish the floor, she said, and you go back to the playhouse and you wait a while, and I'll be there. So I ran outside, letting the screen door slam behind me. I skipped down the narrow brick path to the clothesline and under it to the playhouse beside the dwarf apple tree. I busied myself with little girl housekeeping, washing my doll dishes, tidying the bed, sweeping the floor with a corn straw broom. Can't you just see that? That's so descriptive. I can imagine seeing her doing that. Then I heard steps on the brick path. Mail time, Mama called in a high voice. Then I heard the thunk of envelopes firmly striking the inside of the coffee can. I waited to give her time to walk back to the house, and then I rushed out to the mailbox, out of the playhouse, and reached into the can to grab my treasure. Shuffling through it, I found 3 envelopes, a catalog, and a small package. What a haul! I sat on the grass that sloped down to the garden to open it. Naturally, I went for the package first. Tearing away the brown grocery sack paper, I lifted the lid from a tiny box. Wow! 2 sticks of juicy fruit gum, a square of waxed paper wrapped around the handful of chocolate chips, raisins and miniature marshmallows, and a new pink pearl eraser. I munched on the snack mixture while I explored the rest of my mail. Thumbing through the seed catalog, I enjoyed the brightly colored flowered pictures, and then I spread the envelopes out in my hand. Each was addressed to Patty, Playhouse, Backyard, Oregon, and posted with an S&H green stamp. We're dating ourselves if we remember the S&H green stamps. I slipped my finger under the flap of one and ripped it open. It held a flyer from a car insurance company. And the next I found an advertisement for magazine subscriptions with 100 tiny stamps to stick onto the order form. From the last envelope, I pulled a page of notebook paper. How are you doing? I read in my mother's perfect printing. It's been beautiful weather here, though a little hot for me. I've been canning beans. We have a lovely large garden as usual. So come and visit us. You know you're always welcome. Love, Mama. She sighed, signed it in writing with swirls at the beginning of the M and at the end of the A. That was probably 40 years ago. I thought Mom and I had become close only recently, but remembering this mailbox, I realized I was wrong. The mother who took the time from her mopping and canning to gather up some junk mail and trinkets to put in a package, write a personal note, and deliver it all in true play acting style was my special companion. Even back then, Mama was always my friend. That's by Patty Duncan. Yeah, moms, they're special. You only get one, or if you're lucky, you might get more than one. I know when my children were growing up, we didn't have family around, so they would adopt people for families. And that's okay too. But moms, like that, we don't realize how much they do for us until we get to become older adults and we look back. And if you think about times like that, they were always there for us. I moved back to Nebraska when my mother had a heart attack in 2002. We got to have 18 years together. 18 years. Those were so good because, like there, I got to know her in a different way. She was fun. And when my dad passed away, it's like she bloomed. She was the flower lady, and people would go by in town, and they always looked at her flowers. She was so proud of them, and she made beautiful quilts. You know, we miss our moms, and when Mother's Day comes, it's just like it puts it out in front and center that your mom's not there. But there's things that you could do to honor her for Mother's Day still. On May the 8th, it's a Friday afternoon from 2 to 4. Free workshop. I'll put the link in the comments, but you can go to www.patackleyroth.com and register there. It'd be a great afternoon of just sharing stuff. You know, if it's your mom, maybe your mom is still living and you don't have a relationship with her, and you grieve what could have been or what should be. So please join me. I think it's going to be a good afternoon. I know my mother died in February and right before Mother's Day, so needless to say, I didn't celebrate Mother's Day that year, but I do now, and I can show you how. So I hope you have a great week. Mother's Day's coming, and this month I will all have some stories about mothers. So until then, I wish you well, and I hope you have a great, great week, and I'll see you later. Bye for now.